Holy jeez, this is going to be a good one, Cinderin, because neither of them can be eliminated because Mind Games is out.
That's true. Liquid are currently 1-0-1, and their 1 is against Mind Games. So they have yet to win a game, but they still won a series. Does that make sense?
It does.
It makes sense to me.
Indeed.
So yeah, obviously we saw quite a bit more out of Fnatic than Liquid. We saw an additional series, obviously. And Fnatic have been looking really good in this group. Also, one of the teams that many had high hopes for going in. I think SEA is going to have a very good showing in this event in general. Both Fnatic and Boom will be potential candidates for top 3 placements, in my opinion. So we'll see. Liquid might have their work cut out for them in this game. Can I just say we've had a very big variety of heroes in this tournament so far. I feel like this patch that we had a week and a half before this has actually really made a big difference, I would say.
But we see DP and we see Tiny.
We do.
Different roles, though.
But yeah, the DP is given clearly less priority, and
Yes.
it's also just had games where it looked flat out almost awful, right? So it's not like just been this auto amazing pickup for the teams that have run it. We're going to see a 3-rune pickup here for Fnatic, so off to a little bit of a head start. Can't say the laning setup is too surprising here. They're going to see the Treant plus Wraith King bottom for them. They're going to put Armel on a mid DP, which I think potentially is more where you're going to see this hero shine now after the nerf. I think the hero, because the ulti isn't this like press once, break tower that you could do as a position 5, I think you need to, more often than not, put this in a core position to get the value out of it. By way of just having items so that you can stay in fights and get the Spirit Siphons off more so than the ult. And finally, top lane for Fnatic will be the Shadow Shaman Magnus lane.
Yep, Liquid did start out with 3 in the bot lane, but Insania has now TP'd to top in order to support Mr. Matu. By the way, there was a graphic earlier. You guys should buy your major tickets if you're in the Stockholm area. If you want the opportunity to smell Cinderin, I'm not saying you can do it, but it's possible that you could because you'll be in his presence.
Alternatively, as long as you're like about a kilometer outside of the arena, you could smell Sunsfan from there. So
That is, I'll take that as a compliment somehow.
yes, that's
Cinderin.
because you
Thank
don't know what a kilometer is. But that's fine. You'll figure it out eventually. Top lane.
That's actually true. Sadly true. My country
How
is
many feet is that?
the U.S. is a third world country, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, what do you think of the troll this game? It's not the most usual position one that we see these days. Obviously one of those heroes that can get kited to a pretty high degree depending on the lineup, but how does it look for this game?
I'm kind of with SVG here. I think a lot of what Matumba's output in this game is going to come down to will be Grim's Shard, because for me, just theoretically speaking, I don't think this is the greatest troll matchup. I think Shaman handles him pretty well. I think Treant handles him exceptionally well. Kind of forces him to go Manta or BKB early. You can't bypass both. Maybe you even want to get both. His eye's actually in huge trouble bottom, just taking an absolute beating here. Not quite gonna die, but got a little bit of turnaround there. Actually almost dying to the little boy there.
Skellies.
We call them the boys.
Not to be confused with the show called The Boys, of course.
I actually do think that term was coined by Arteezy. I feel like he used to call them the boys.
Yep, he copyrighted. That's $10 in his pocket every time you say that, so be careful. He's already quite wealthy. Not from major wins, of course, but from people saying the boys. Anyway.
I was about to say too soon, but it's been a long time actually, so you can say that, I think.
Yep, thank you. Boxy and... this is Jen Well. John Well.
John Well.
Okay.
Yeah, Cap got to you there.
Yeah.
You know, he tried to get in your head, and he did. It's John Well.
Successful. Well done.
This is, I would say position 4 Doom is not particularly popular right now. It's starting to pick up a little bit of steam again. It used to be a very popular hero going back a while. I wonder what led Liquid to prioritizing it this game, right? Because the heroes that they saw at the time, there was no like obvious Doom target. And obviously Fnatic rounding out the draft here with both Wraith King and DP doesn't exactly make for, you know, this, hell yeah, I'm going to Doom this core and it's going to be amazing. Who are you going to Doom? I'm very curious how we're going to see this all come together. Perhaps the logic from Liquid is we want to have, first of all, the laning stage. Doom works well with Visage. And then when you come to mid-game, maybe you hit a very strong timing where Scorched Earth and an aura item drums. You just run in, you do a lot of AoE damage, so Visage can just keep pumping out the soul assumptions. That might be the logic.
Has the creep changed at all? Like the priority for Doom once you get to like, forget about the early game because that could be a lot of creeps. But once you have like a Blink Dagger, do you still just go for the Centaur creep, or has it actually changed in your experience?
I mean, my experience, once again, is kind of limited, right? Because you haven't seen it that much until about a week and a half ago or so. With that patch, Doom got a little bit more popular. I think Centaur creep is probably not the way to go in this game. I think I'd rather see him get a good aura for his team. The speed aura doesn't...
Okay, he pops the Fairy Fire, getting chased. Actually uses the rune just to get a little bit extra HP. The last right-click will do it. Armel finds first blood, so missed the first portion of that, but essentially what happened, the Avalanche tried... I mean, he used the Avalanche in order to get the rune, but ends up dying as a result. So Armel, we're still seeing this Death Prophet be used from time to time. It's just not as a position 5 anymore that could just take like those tier 1 towers immediately.
It's just such an amazing matchup, right? Like DP loves playing against these high health strength heroes, and Tiny has one of the highest health in the game for the time being, right? He's level 5, 1200 max health. Those Spirit Siphons do so much damage, and Tiny can never really trade with you favorably. So Armel obviously very well versed in this matchup, and he's making the most of it there with a kill.
Yeah, but if we, I mean, in terms of the CS, it was relatively even before that kill, so obviously now going the way of Armel. If we look, as we see another Avalanche come out, but in terms of the position 1s, Matu sitting at 28-2, and then on the other side, Mr. Raven on the Wraith King, 18-5, so he's being pressured a little bit better.
Good pressure onto
Liquid Fan.
Jab's top as well.
Yep, that is the Inkswell connection. Jabs gets off the skewer onto 2. DJ's in the area, gets off the Earthshard. Looks like that'll be enough actually with the Shackle. And a Shockwave from afar as well. DJ taking heavy damage. Looks like Matu and company want to continue to try to chase. Just need a little bit of extra vision. Pops that Fairy Fire, and that'll be enough for him to survive. Still forcing them out of lane, and Matu getting quite good farm in this lane.
Yeah. DJ has the TP base, though. He will pick up his boots, so he's going to come back with some more mobility to try to play around this Grimstroke, but sending him back to base is a pretty nice victory here for Liquid. It gives Matu some more time. It gives Insania the luxury of doing what I would say maybe among position 5s in the world, Insania is one of the best at doing this. He's just a very efficient stacker, right? Like he's always had his eye on the jungle. He's now going to connect with Mickey on the top rune. A nice attempt, but unfortunately there's a Spirit Siphon running, so DP's healing 2 bajillion health per second, but Doom is there.
Yeah, he gets the Infernal Blade
Another
off.
great target to siphon off.
3v1. Make that with DJ coming in. They're going to even this up a little bit, and Armel not scared of anybody. That's a long-ass shackle on the Boxy. That's going to result in another kill going the way of Fnatic. Armel was completely outnumbered, but like you said, Spirit Siphon, pretty good ability, they say.
Who would you who would you rather be ganked by than Tiny Doom as DP if you get your siphons off? I'm just like trying to think. Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's not many options left, right?
Primal Beast.
Primal's gonna kill you, though. That's the thing.
Not anymore.
Doom has pretty good health, but he doesn't do burst damage, right? So you're effectively just offsetting the Spirit Siphon, or offsetting the Scorched Earth, pardon me, so... Yeah, very nice again for Armel there, and good rotations from both teams, to be honest. I could definitely see why Liquid were trying to get that kill at the rune. Insania gonna stack a camp here again. Wonder why he's not going for a double stack. He could have probably also stacked the Wolf camp to the side with a potential Stroke of Fate, but opts to just stack out a single camp, leaving the rune there for Mickey to get a bottle refill. And that's one of the luxuries you have of putting a Troll in the safe lane, right? Like the 5 will often just be able to go and do something else because Troll can, for the most part, stand his ground. But yeah, I guess the win there as well, if you want to look at it from that perspective, Jabs level 6.5 on Magnus, minute 7. He's having a very good start.
Indeed. I mean, at what point with the fact that you're off to a good start on Magnus, but you want to empower Wraith King at some point once he goes into the jungle, is that a time coming soon, or does he need to just continue to do what he's doing in this lane?
I think the times of Magnus just being a bot for a teammate are kind of over. I think it's important that you give yourself more of a game. So I think when it's natural for them to just connect, like if Wraith King wants to go to the triangle and you can just go to him in 5 seconds and power him, sure. But you're not going to be following him all around the map for it.
Matu, Spidey senses are tingling. He's going to run into several heroes. Has a nice juke though, but that shackle from afar, the tongue into the RP and into death.
ETL did not get nerfed against heroes. It is working as intended there.
Yes, very good.
But now let's see how long this tower takes. So if this was a week and a half ago, this tower would almost be gone by now. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration. Mickey will arrive.
Got the Avatos ready. Illusion Rune bottled up. There's the Inkswell from Insania. Gets shackled just for a moment. He's going to get the toss off, though. It looks like Boxy has come to play as well. Gets up a nice skewer just before he dies here. End up taking out the Tiny, so it's a 1-for-1 in this little mini engagement. Insania, another right click will do it.
Nice.
Nope, not gonna die this time around. Armel, though, with Matu getting kited again from DJ. The shackles have been on point. It might cost him his life, but Armel at the very least will live, so nicely done from DJ.
And nice sidestep there from Insania too to not get hit by that Crypt Swarm. He knew it was coming and he chose to just take a step down and did end up whiffing from Armel. That changed the outcome of that quite a bit. I think potentially they wouldn't even have lost their Shaman either if Insania had died there, so nice heads-up play from him.
And we see the replay here.
So check this out right now. So this, first of all, this skewer from Jabs, amazing. Like the fact that he gets it off, he gets it on all three. But if Insania doesn't sidestep this Crypt Swarm here, if that connects on him there, he will not get silenced now. And the follow-up coming in here as well, there's going to be a slow connecting now on DJ as well out of the Grimstroke. So more than likely, will just flat out be a nicely favored trade for Fnatic, if not for Insania's heads-up play there. So nicely done.
Yeah, but all said and done, Cinderin. Basically, the top 3 net worth right now on Fnatic's side. It's not that much of a lead for them, but Wraith King was kind of middle of the pack, but now that he's in the jungle, he's doing his own thing. Got the Skelly boys farming up to a high degree, and this tower has been basically not touched in the bottom lane, the tier 1 tower.
Yeah. And I guess if you want to look at it just from like an economy perspective as well, right? I guess something that's slightly concerning is how good are Liquid's core matchups actually. Like the Troll against Wraith King I think is pretty good. I think this is a rough Tiny game. You picked it first phase and you've definitely been solved, right? You're playing into Treant, you're playing into Wraith King, you're playing into DP, which we've already seen in action multiple times. And the only hero in your lineup that's really ahead of the opposition is the Doom, who, by virtue of being Doom, is more than likely going to have more gold than the enemy position 4, right? So I think even if this is just a marginal lead in terms of the net worth, just from a game plan perspective, I think Fnatic are more than happy.
Ooh, all right. Well, we talked about how Exorcism with the piercing damage being changed in that one patch, that's been quote-unquote fixed, but the Serpent Ward still beat the absolute crap out of Roshan, as we're seeing here.
Yep.
And this is going to be an extremely early Roshan in favor of Fnatic. And you can't really blame Liquid for not even realizing this is happening.
That's a quick kill. Nice grab. You got to always keep your mind on this. I agree. It's one of those ones that it's just, it's also hard to just be in the map position to contest to begin with, even if you feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Bringing heroes over here minute 10 for Dire is not a very common thing. Like you have to ideally open up the bottom tower first. You want to play the stacks that Insania's made for your team, and this Roche died in, what was it, 20 seconds?
Jab's getting gone on by Matu, but Jabs actually just stands his ground, and Matu has to run away. He was trying to fake out the fact that maybe there's some teammates nearby. But, of course, he does have that living armor, and his Blink Dagger is on the way. So an extremely good start for the Fnatic cores overall.
I feel like this is, even though this is a 1K, this is a pretty meaningful advantage.
Magnificent? Was that what you were going to say?
I was, but it's a pretty meaningful lead, right? You're against Doom.
Yeah.
Granted, he's a support, but you're still up on gold. You just got Roche. You got the top tier 1, and the enemy team didn't get yours. And you're, on paper, playing a slightly greedier lineup for this time being, right? Between having Magnus as well as Wraith King, who haven't really... You know, the Magnus has been involved because they rotated to his lane, but a lot of the times you see Magnus is not really take part in much fighting for the first 15-20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been doing a good chunk of the damage to the enemy team with jabs on that mag. Fnatic, they're going to try to squeeze more of an advantage out of this Aegis on DP. Exorcism is ready again, so they're going to put their eyes towards mid. Pump faking the ult isn't going to commit it just yet. But there we go.
We'll activate it in the end, and Mickey already expended that Avalanche, but like you said, this Aegis still online for quite a while. I'm not sure how much Liquid would want to fight here as the D-wards come out of the cliff. Actually, Liquid are kind of grouped up in the mid lane, so looks like they want to attempt to defend this. Of course, it's not a siege wave, but there goes the Rasta Wards. A huge RP onto 3 heroes, followed by the Ether Shock Shockwave combination. Avatos is there for Mickey, but it's too late. They've lost 2 immediately. Zai's going to be next. What a freaking RP. It did cost Jabs his life, but he gets tipped by the rest of Fnatic, and well-deserved there. Of course, you can't spend those shards on anything worthwhile, but you'll be happy.
And you don't get them either.
That's true. You don't even get them in local lobbies anyway. It's all good. Man, what an RP. You don't really see RPs that clean this early in the game.
It's pretty rare. We're going to get an immediate replay of that. So, Liquid are trying to get in the defense. He almost got 4, actually. Insania just narrowly dodged it to the northwest, but still just... I mean, honestly, the fact that Liquid even trade a kill there is kind of surprising to me. I thought they were just going to get absolute wombo comboed, but they did get the damage out from Tiny onto Jabs. Looking happy with himself, though. That's understandable. That's a very nice heads-up play from him. And getting that mid-tower while you still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes. So Armel actually has another Exo with it if they can get the resources flowing back into him so he has the mana. He finds... Oh, look,
Regen rune.
look at that. That's very convenient.
Indeed.
They might just go top tier too. Like, I don't know. With the next Exo, I think you try to get that outpost advantage as well when you're rolling this hard.
Well, that is the first tower killed for Liquid. Takes a little bit of time because of the living armor, but it's one of those things where you just have to commit for towers. Can't just leave them at half HP. But yeah, we'll see if they end up using this Aegis in the next fight, because it will be a minute discrepancy between the timer and this Exo, like you said. And you can see Armel working on the BKB, essentially just the recipe away right now. And for Raven, he has the armlet, phase boots. We'll be going Blink Dagger as well. So they're going to have double Blink Dagger relatively early. He'll have that in a couple hundred gold.
Yeah, I like that from Wraith King. I think you have the luxury of going a more offensive build when you have Empower. Like, a lot of the times Wraith Kings will go for Deso in this slot. But when you have Empower and you are in this position in the game, why not try to squeeze more of an advantage out of it immediately, right? Like, just really... Yeah, take advantage of the fact that you're getting free damage that you wouldn't usually have.
Yeah, expect the smoke to come out here.
Yep.
On to 4. And this is going to be the Blink Dagger reveal for Wraith King.
What have we got on Liquid? Is there any big items? So Zai has a Vlad. There's a Blink on Mickey, obviously. Doom is far away from anything.
And they don't have vision on the high ground. There we go. Inkswell. Looks like Insania might be... No, he actually buys enough time.
Nice movement
Looks like
there.
he's good to go. So this Aegis will be consumed the old natural way.
Yeah, I really thought they were going to try to use this for the top tier 2 tower, but it looks like Fnatic decide against that. Maybe they couldn't get the wave in the position they wanted at the right time. Now Armel is going and pinging that path together with Raven, so they do want to make the move, but ideally you would have done this just half a minute earlier than this. But they might still be able to execute it regardless. They have RP, they still have an exceptionally tanky front line with the Wraith King with Armlet. They can put the Shaman wards down, and they have the Treant for counter engage.
Yeah, so Blink on Tiny, we've already seen this for Mickey. The Blink was pretty close for Boxy. He's about 400 from finishing that. And in terms of Matu's farm, he's had the Maelstrom to help farm himself up, just going for the Manta style afterwards. I assume mostly for the Overgrowth / Silence.
He needs it against Overgrowth. Yeah, it's just the truth of it. That's one of the things that...
Feels bad, though, with Troll buying a Manta. That feels real bad.
I feel like this is one of Troll's worst support matchups in Dota, actually. I think Treant is so annoying to deal with because, first of all, you kind of feel like you have to buy Manta sometimes. Then there's Living Armor, which gives the target of your ult 12 armor. Like, if he uses ult, you can just armor the guy Troll is on, and he loses a significant portion of his damage. You're a hero that's super mobility-based in fights against Nature's Grasp and the Slow of Leech Seed. And then even if Treant goes and gets the Shard, then that is another problem. So really, I think it's going to be tough.
Zai is going to get the skewer off. You can see the TP coming in on top of the creeps as well. Insania, the only backup for Zai. It's not going to be enough. So another freebie for Fnatic as they are mounting towards this tier 2 tower. As Raven continuing to press Insania. Wraithfire Blast is there. And the Nature's Grasp to follow should be enough for Insania to drop to the deck. One last crit from Raven. And the tier 2 tower still standing, but it's half HP. Actually, the creeps aren't even close. So
really nice play from Zai at the top tier 1 tower. He has 1 bird left. He resummoned his birds before he died, and he had this bird pull the wave the entire way to the enemy tier 1. So effectively defending his tier 2 from the grave.
We're going to see the first Doom of the game. BKB was popped before for the DP. But inside the wards is Mickey with the full duration shackle. RP getting faked out by jabs. They're going to find the Tiny very easily. Looks like Boxy's going to be next. So Fnatic continuing to roll here in the relatively... I mean, this is past the laning stage. I guess we've approached mid-game at this point. And now the tier 2 tower. The Gargoyle from Zai only delays the inevitable.
Liquid are getting stomped, man. Like, this is not good. Everywhere Fnatic go, they just win every single engagement. And they have so much scalability, and they're looking to probably just chill now, get this outpost, wait for the second Roche, and with the Aegis plus Shard, they might just be thinking about going high ground. Like, Deso is online on Wraith King as well. This guy right now with Empower, he can blink one-shot the Grimstroke. Pretty much. Maybe he needs 2 hits. So
we can count them when it comes.
It will. I bet you it will happen. He's going to go for it at some point. and then we can do a little bit of counting together.
Sounds good. If you have your children watching, they can learn to count.
Yeah.
Of course, it might be a little
1
violent.
kilometer, 2 kilometers.
I mean, what is 1 unit in Dota equivalent to in kilometers, Cinderin? That's the real... Another Blink Dagger. Wow. I was not expecting a third here for John Well on this Treant Protector. It's still being delivered, but that's 3 ways to initiate. Obviously, Overgrowth. I mean, why Manta and not BKB? Or do you have to go both for Troll? Is it because it's a lower cooldown? Is that basically it?
It's part of it. It's also just better stats, right?
Yeah.
Like, the problem with going BKB... Oh, hang on.
Yep. We got the gargoyles getting gone on.
This might seem like a small deal, but it really isn't because Zai just resummoned these. So if they kill them again here, half of Zai's heroes are actually dead for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And the rest of it is also dead.
Is quite dead indeed. A nice avalanche, though, from Mickey. Actually buys enough time for Zai to limp back to his base.
I baited you to thinking Zai was dead there. Of course he's fine.
Oh, we got mass TPs, though, into the bot lane.
They're going to leave their Exo in mid, though.
And they're not going to find Matu. He forced them out. So, nice job from Liquid delaying things here. I mean, speaking of the Manta, it's not even that close. I mean, it's 700 gold away still from Matu. His farm, I mean, it's still top 3 overall, but it feels like he is certainly on the back foot this game. A lot of pressure on the Troll Warlord this game.
He has pretty good CS, right? He has 188. I don't know how many of these are Wraith King skeletons. Like, that could be a substantial portion. We might get a stat on that, but, like... Aside from, let's say 10 or 15 of those are skeletons, this is still a pretty decent CS scoreline for Troll, which goes to show just how much Fnatic are getting out of the map.
Wait, does it count as killing a skeleton if it's the first time? You know how they respawn?
You get 2 CS.
You don't get gold?
I think you get 2 CS per Troll.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure per Troll. Per skeleton.
Skelly?
I think so, but maybe it's only the second kill that counts. Not sure about that.
All right, well, second Roshan. This is going to be a freebie again, it seems. This is the one with the shard, of course.
And this one is without Exo, so they have 2 Exo users together with this Aegis when they pick it up.
Yep.
Reckon it's just going to go over to Raven this time, as this time they want to use it for sieging the high ground and putting it on Wraith King versus the, I would say, transformation-based DP is probably the right call. I'm going to give her the shard instead.
Yep, that was recently nerfed, but I can't imagine this being bad still.
It is still very good.
The fear is such a strong mechanic, and the fact that you just get the extra charger spirits, I mean, that alone is probably makes it good anyway, right?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Boxy.
Yeah, bot lane. All right, that's going to be a very quick kill onto Boxy. Of course, when you're behind like this, you have to make plays to essentially force Fnatic to defend.
First stack onto Raven's Deso. Worth keeping an eye on as well, of course. The stack counter on that, together with Empower.
That was also nerfed, right? Now it's 20, I believe, instead of 25.
Does it cap out earlier? Maybe you're right.
The max stats,
yeah, it caps out at 20, you're right. Yeah, this might end up being the difference maker between whether he 1 or 2 shots Insania, so we can be excited about that and get some bets going here about how many stacks he needs on the Deso before it's a literal 1-shot. How much armor does Grim have? 6. So actually he does more, just exactly pure damage.
Activate brain calculator.
Exactly pure damage. No, but come on, it's exactly pure damage.
Okay.
Isn't there beauty in math, Shannon? Okay, now he even gets a Mithril Hammer, so... This might have pushed him over the edge. That's it.
Oh boy, that's the one.
That is the one.
Hammer.
Bottom tier 2 is also the one.
Yep, that
and what do you do for
so.
Liquid? I know we've been talking a lot about Fnatic, but they've really just been the ones, you know, taking charge of the game and making the moves. Liquid have kind of tried to dodge and play slow. I'm looking for the timing. Like, what type of fight are they hoping for? What are they going to do? Are they going to blink Doom before the RP? Are they going to blink Doom the DP and just try to fight into the rest of the team with all their ults?
Right.
Or are their hands just tied here? Like, there just isn't that much to talk about except show us what item timing you're waiting for, right?
I mean, you kind of brought this up earlier, but who is the Doom target? Because Wraith King is a no-go. DP, if she doesn't have Exorcism up, maybe? She did pop BKB before that. Obviously, it goes through, but you're not going to have enough damage while the BKB's activated to probably kill her anyway.
Are looking for an opportunity here, but Jabs breaks the smoke and survives.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything else, though. Actually has to expend the RP. Blink Dagger up in 4 seconds. Gets another slow off in the Boxy. Is the Scorched Earth going to cancel the Blink? No. And, oh, the Stomp! Okay, that was pretty sexy from Boxy.
I told you, Doom gets the Stomp creep still.
Easy. I mean,
of course.
I assumed that was the case, because what could possibly be better than that?
That's also not what I told you. Thanks for listening.
I was not. Wait, what did you, I thought you said we'll see. It was like a non-answer.
I'm pretty sure I said I think he's going to get an aura in this game. Because when I look at their lineup, right,
I see.
you have Visage, you have Doom, you have Tiny Rim. Like this mid-game, in theory, their lineup wants to shine and fight, right?
Oh!
Nice guess. No? He could have blinked to multiple different positions there on jabs, but Boxy did the math.
Math is strong with him today. So nice pick off for Liquid, but it's not enough to really bring them back in this game.
It's baby steps.
Yeah, Aegis for another couple minutes on Raven. His BKB is done. And for Armel, he already has the Kaya Sange. We'll be going for a Lincoln Sphere, so he's fearing the Doom. And once you get that, like because of the farm discrepancy here, Boxy's going to have a hard time getting something to actually, like, I mean, Halberd would be something, but it's, you know, it's not like he can buy that immediately.
Oh, this
gets
could be a good
top
jump.
off. All right, gets off the Doom. Armel is
He's
dead.
Ghost.
Nice
pick.
kill for Liquid.
Yeah, very good stuff. That's a minute without DP. Let's see if they can turn this into some sort of a power play. Nope, Fnatic just want to fight them, actually.
Yeah, looks like it. Avalanche. Okay, we have the Soulbind onto 2, but look at Tiny again, stuck inside the wards. BKB finally activated from Raven, focusing on Mickey. Looks like they'll find him relatively easily. And with jabs in the vicinity as well, with the BKB activated, they can't do too much, but they've lost 3, so Fnatic, they get out with their two of their 3 cores.
Yeah, that was
another good fight from Liquid.
That was brave, wasn't it? They chose to fight 4v5 without RP. They actually opted to go in. I think they were safe after DP died. Nobody else had been caught. And they just commit to this fight. And yeah, they get the Tiny, but the punish there, well worth it for Liquid. They're also going to get mid-tier 1 out of this. Even with that glyph, I still think the... Ooh. Close call.
Good effort there.
They would have had to kill him 3 times, though.
True. Well, the Aegis doesn't get consumed, so actually no. Unless they kill him super fast because it's expiring soon.
Yeah, they would have had to get through his ult and then the Aegis, unless the time between the kills was long enough that the Aegis would expire naturally, right?
Yeah.
Which was, yeah, maybe unlikely to happen there. So we're seeing here, they're opting to go in here. There's a very quick silence from Insania into Soulbind. A nice ward trap there from DJ is going to keep Mickey in place, and that will be the 1 kill that they find. Also, Treant was blinking in. John Noel was trying to get this overgrowth and immediately got stunned by a familiar drop, so pretty good. From Liquid, they pull themselves... That's a quite big swing. That was like a 3 to 4k gold swing because they also got the mid-tier 1 and open up some space for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, 4k is not that substantial at this stage of the game. I mean, it's decent. I think the big part of this game, though, is the Roshan taking.
Yeah.
Liquid have to contest the 3rd Rosh when it comes.
Well, first of all, they have to defend their base because they don't have Doom for another 20.
Yeah.
All of Fnatic are mid, and they push really fast. They have the boys, they have the dead boys in shape of ghosts, and they have the snake boys, which are ready as well from DJ. Not sure why he's not putting down those, actually.
Put those snake boys down. Okay, Boxy jumps in, gets off the Infernal Blade and the War Stomp. Looks like they might take out the Reincarnation. Nope, not quite. Raven. Looks like he's going to reset, toggle up that armlet, and with Armel TPing out, that's the end of this high ground push.
Yeah, EXO is running out, so they do get the tier 3, which is definitely very good for them. That's going to open up for the next push to essentially prompt Liquid to do an immediate response, or the lane's just gone. Wraith King plus Snakes plus DP ult, you have about 5 to 10 seconds or those barracks are gone. So you've got to really be on your toes now.
And they're going to smoke up.
Matu closing in on a Skadi.
Okay.
Close to Lotus as well on Boxy's Doom, which will come very much in handy against Shadow Shaman, who does not have a BKB to protect himself. So if he goes for a Hex with a Lotus on, he can't chain his spells at all. And Mickey also closing in on BKB. So pretty big items on the way here for Liquid if they find a good fight. They will, with the smoke, at least take some sort of an area, but Roche is too far away to really be in contention with this smoke.
Yeah, another minute until we'll know when Roche is up.
Yeah.
But you can see they're occupying the triangle area of Fnatic, but Fnatic have general idea that this is happening.
A little bit of a peculiar time to choose to smoke, right? You're 500 gold away from a Skadi on your Troll. There's no Roche. Essentially, you did get a good offensive ward here, so Zai can farm here, but risk reward, I don't know if I really like this.
I'm not sure if they had timed Roche, actually, because they actually walked in there to check when it wasn't possible for it to be up. So maybe a little bit information, I guess. Fake news.
Lack of information.
fake news.
Fake news would be if Insania said it's up and it isn't.
Well, maybe he did. Maybe we can get the
Or
recording.
if Insania said, I know when Roche is back, but he didn't know. Well, we will know in a second.
No,
Or-
actually in 6 seconds.
Shannon, I love when you speak technicalities.
Does that turn you on as
Yeah.
Fnatic is smoked?
You know me very well. I'm struggling to concentrate right now. When is Roche spawning?
Oh, don't do that again, please.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Oh, that was close.
Don't do that again.
TP at the. Oh my God, Roshan is up in 5 seconds actually, so it's a
There's a
super
bird
fast
checking it.
respawn timer.
Any ornithologists in the chat can help us out
Did you
with.
say ornithologist?
Isn't that what it's called?
What is that?
Isn't that what bird watchers are called?
Who cares?
Okay. This is why we don't have conversations off screen.
Does anybody care?
All right, here comes Roche, Raven,
Okay.
and the Snakies.
Liquid have to do something here.
They
Got
will.
the birds going in, the drums are popped. Yeah, Roshan's at half HP, but they see that nobody's in the pit with them. And Fnatic occupying the northern section of the Roche area. So Roche will live for now. Is Mickey looking for a potential jump target, which Raven would not be that.
Yep, there is a refresher on this Roche as well, so it would be a really big pickup for the Magnus in particular on Fnatic's side. Could also choose to give it to DP, of course, to have a very long.
Yeah, but just having these familiars able to scout this out constantly is a pain in the ass for Fnatic, as their lead is only 3K now.
Oh, Zai! Oh, he got bashed
Yeah, he
at
did
the
get
very
that.
inopportune time.
But Raven not capitalizing, or I mean, it is a freaking tanky target, so understandable not wanting to go on top of Zai. And this Roche, he's starting to get low.
They're committing.
Pop. They are committing indeed. Matu gets the Whirling Axis. Who's going to get it? Nice RP on the other side. Who gets the Aegis? It's snatched by Armel. So the Roshan itself actually goes to Liquid as a huge Avatos comes out, but BKB galore not going to be enough to save anybody from Liquid. 3 dead right off the bat, and a disastrous fight for Liquid overall. 0 heroes die on Fnatic's side, and they get the Aegis. I'm not sure who got the shard. It looks like Tiny got the refresher shard.
Yeah, Tiny has the refresher, so at least Liquid got something there. But that fight, that was not even, they were not even remotely close to killing a single hero. Like,
Yeah.
DP just commits in, pops BKB and Exo, they get the Roche down, and Jabs finds an RP on 2 targets to the south of the pit. That's just super clean. Fnatic really biding their time, waiting until Liquid kind of have to go, and then they get this RP right there. So
Boom.
Doom, as well as Visage, get skewered into an Overgrowth.
Oh yeah, that Overgrowth is on the entire team.
Yeah, just clean.
Good Lord.
Super clean. Is this just Megas?
I think this is Megas. I'm pretty sure, although that buyback from Matu is there. No buybacks for the Visage or the Tiny as of yet. So Fnatic can just go for these structures, technically. Let's see if they're able to defend here for Liquid. Let's see the Scotty online. Oh, instant hacks, beautifully done. But no Overgrowth yet, because they just use it, obviously. And they're going to be able to clean up Troll Warlock. Matu, he's just dead. That might be it. Game 1's going to go the way of Fnatic, as GG's not quite called. But this is certainly going to be Mega Creeps, and no buyback available for Matu.
Shannon, I think we need to... Oh, hang on. They might just kill Armel
Okay,
here.
Armel, this would be a nice
Aegis.
kill, but they're going to have to do a lot more than that because of that Aegis. Raven just chopping down yet another hero. And the Overgrowth to follow. Skewer out with the BKB. Focusing on the DP right now. Armel extremely tanky. Another couple right clicks will do it. Looks like he's going to live for now, though. And you can see the Doom applied to Wraith King. Not the target you're going for, but don't have much choice at this stage of the game. 18K lead for Fnatic as they're looking to clean up game number 1. And with only 1 remaining member of Liquid, I expect GG's to be called, and there we go. So Fnatic, I mean, they got off to a really good start. Liquid did a pretty good job of coming